Hi, this is Michael Waits, and welcome back to India Game Changer. Today should be a good one. Today we are joined by Jacob George, a co-founder and the CEO at Eatopia. I love the name of this company, by the way. Jacob, thank you so much for doing the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Michael. Thank you so much for inviting me for this show. And it's a pleasure for me to be part of this.
Awesome. Do you do a lot of recording?
I'm a part of, many recordings. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yes.
you enjoy it, or is it just like drudgery? Feel like, oh God, why do I have to do this kind of thing, or do you enjoy it?
No, no, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And I love speaking to you, Michael.
Do you ever think about having your own show, like just a show about food?
I don't think, just doing some recordings, I'll be able to capable of, performing a show like you. It's the capability and the competency for the show is should be humongous, which I don't think I have right now. I'll be doing later for sure.
It,
Maybe when I reach at your age, I'll be doing it.
that's going to be so long in the future. I like the way you
Sorry,
did that. You're like,
sorry,
let
that
me
was
push
not to
this
hurt you.
off. Let me push this off like
That was
three
not to hurt you. I'm
decades.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's so good. I love every second of it. Because here's the thing. The great thing about age jokes, right, which everybody loves, is that it's the only thing you can't stop from happening, right? So
Right.
like even if you lose all your hair, there's a way to fix that. If you gain a little bit too much weight, you can always change your diet and go on some exercise. But like you can't stop getting older. Every year you're going to be a year older. And then someday you're going to look back and somebody who's your age is going to make fun of you for being 57 years old. And you're just going to be like, anyway, I love it.
Absolutely right.
So
With you on this. But then you look old, but then you're very young in your mind. That's the thing. You're very young.
I feel like I'm super young, but let's see how I feel tomorrow
Yes.
morning when I wake up. Okay. Let's get a little bit of your background for some context before we jump into the main part of this conversation.
My name is Jacob George, and I'm from the southern part of India. I'm from God's own country where we speak God's own language. I'm from Kerala, and we speak Malayalam. When you hear my English, you'll also feel like a Mallu speaking English, a Mallish it'll be, Malayalamish it'll be. The kind of English I speak. The funniest part of that. So I've done my 10th and 12th from Kerala. And post that, I've taken BTech in food engineering, food technology. So I'm a food technologist. I've done a BTech in food technology,
Okay.
and post that I've done MBA in operations. After my education, I got an opportunity to work with a company called Synthite Industry, which is based in Cochin, is in Kerala. And from 2009 to 2013, I was working with Synthite. I was a senior specialist. I was working in product development. Post that, I've got an opportunity to work with a company called ITC, and 2013 to 2017 I was working with ITC. ITC is one of the major FMCG company, a conglomerate which is based in India, and I was handling the major divisions or major products of ITC, and I was working with one of the finest brands of India. From 2017 to 2021, I was working with a company called Marico, which is based in Mumbai. So I have an experience of 13 years, which working with FMCG, different conglomerates of India, and I've been working with major finest brands of India, where you name Ippi, Bingo, Saffola Masala Oats. These are the major brands which I've worked before. So during while I was working with these companies, or I was actually interacting with the consumers, and while I was interacting with the consumers, I understood one thing: there's a biggest gap which is there in the market. When the packaged foods are available in the market, healthy products, and you will get tasty products. Yeah, wherever there is health, you will not find taste.
So let me ask you this. I want to back up though, because I think you make a really good point. You went to school to study food technology, yeah? So
Absolutely right.
why? Where
Yes.
does that come from? In other words, is your family in the food business? Does your mom run a restaurant? Is your dad like a world renowned chef? Like where does that come from?
No, no. My dad is was a working professional. My mom is a homemaker. We were not knowing about, even I was not knowing about food technology when I was at 12th standard. So, there's a trend that after 12th, you have to go for engineering or you have to go for some professional courses,
Right.
right? But then I was not very studious. I was a backbencher, right? I was not studious at all. I was a backbencher. So I told my parents, I will not take mechanical engineering. I will not take I will not take triple E, right? But then when I was scanning through the industry, I was scanning through the websites, I found this food technology, food processing and engineering.
Okay.
And this university called Karuna University. So at that time, it was new in my eyes. I've never heard about it. I always want to try something new. Before jumping into that, I checked with the seniors. I also checked with my other people, and my father actually pushed me to do this because my father was having many colleagues who was working in food industry, and he told that food technology will be one of the booming, the next trend
Yep.
of the industry. If you ask me who motivated me to do this course, it's my father.
Interesting.
So I respect and I love my father just for telling me to do this, the particular
But
course.
what's the view? In other words, because I think we're at an inflection point, and I was actually talking to somebody about this yesterday, about the way we consume food and about the way that food is going to be both made and distributed. Right. And I think part of the reason why I was thinking about this was because I have another show called the Social Innovation Podcast. And the gentleman that hosts that show, Zal Dastur, had Andre Menezes, who runs a company called Next Gen Foods in Singapore, on the show. So I'm thinking about this a lot. Why do you
Okay,
think that the whole food industry is going to change if you agree with that thesis? And why do you think that where there's healthy food, there's no taste?
good question.
Thank you.
There's a revolution which is happening in food industry right now. There's a great revolution which is happening in the food industry right now. If you see, let us take snacks, right?
Yep.
If let's take the snacking industry, let's take the snacking industry or snacking category altogether.
Please.
Initially, all the snacks were made with potatoes. The fried potato snacks, Lay's, and all this,
Yep.
everything is being made with potato. Then there is a transition happened from potato to corn. If you go to any market, you will find potato chips. You will also find corn puffs, corn-based
Corn
products,
chips kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
corn chips, puff corns. There's a transition which happened from one grain or one product, one raw material to another raw material. Now, if you see, oats as a category is picking, oats puff, the snacks which made with oats. If you go to any supermarkets, you will find oats based snacks. So this literally says that there's a transition which is happening in each and every category in food segment, right? So health is something which is actually a concern for the generation or this generation post covid.
Yeah, for sure.
Before COVID, it was not literally was a concern. Yes, there was, Genesis, there was the generations who was actually looking for healthy food. But then the problem was there in the market was that when you have healthy food, you will not get taste. When you have tasty food, when you want to have a tasty food, then you will not have health in that. Because, if you want to make a tasty food, you want to have so much of either it should be fried or it should be filled with sugar or preservatives, colors, flavors, and everything, right? And if you want to have a healthy food, healthy bar, protein bar, then there will be so much of whey protein and so much of healthy ingredients in that product. So you will have to compromise the taste factor.
Go ahead.
Now that's the biggest gap in the industry, right? Wherever you want, you wanted to enjoy the food. I mean, it's food is all about taste. Food is all about indulgence. Food is all about wholesome. So it's a wholesome indulgence. It should be. When I'm talking about wholesome, right? It should have good amount of protein, carbs, fiber, good fats. Fiber. I mean, micronutrients, antioxidants. Everything has to be there in that without compromising the taste.
Right. So how do we do that though?
That's where Ethiopia gets in. That's where the huge market potential of Ethiopia comes in.
But how does this work in the context of Indian food, right? In other words, when I walk down a snack aisle in the United States, to be fair, I haven't lived in the United States in 30 something years, but if I simulate doing that, you're right. I see potato chips, I see corn chips, I see Skittles and all this like, jelly bean stuff. So it's either the stuff you've already talked about or the sugar stuff that you've kind of intimated. But what does it look like in India? Has the same progression happened from potato to corn to oats? And
Absolutely right.
but if it has,
Absolutely.
because when I think about Indian food, right, I think about, I mean, it's so varied, right? Obviously, from state to state, from town to town, and Southern Indian food is going to be different than Middle and Northern Indian food for sure. But when you look in the context of the food that Indian people eat on a regular basis, where does the healthiness and what Eatopia is trying to build fit into the existing diet? Does that make sense?
If you see Indian food culture, right? Every state, every pin code has different taste,
Yeah.
different
Yep.
ingredients, difference in it.
Yep.
Well, let's take as a south and let's take north. Let's divide it into south and north.
Fair enough.
Traditional foods has been made with millets. Let's take an example of idli, dosa, sambar, which
Yep.
is the traditional South Indian breakfast.
Which is also
Has been
fried.
made by No, it's not fried. Italy, if you take, is being made by the grandmas at home.
Yep. Yep.
It's with dal. It's
Dal.
with
Yep.
dal and it's with rice,
Yep.
and the sambar is being made with dal. So it's a perfect combination of protein. It's a perfect combination of fiber. It's a perfect combination of good carbs. So whatever you wanted to have, or whatever the body needs, the wholesomeness, the indulgence is being already there, it's been made by the traditional, made by our grandparents. But then what happened? The generation from 2000, what happened? The packaged food comes into picture.
Yep.
The whole lot of packaged food, the convenience, the noodles industry, the disruption or revolution of noodles, the disruption revolution of Cokes and Pepsis and Lays has been actually
Yeah.
made people, or to come down from healthy and to negotiate the healthy factor and to have convenience and tasty food, right?
Yeah.
So right now what's happening, people are going back to the tradition, people are going back to the millets, people are going back to the dal, people are going back to the soya beans, people are going back to the healthy ingredients.
Yeah.
So millet revolution is happening in India. So millets as a traditional, the cereals, which is actually grown in India, rich in protein and
To
fiber.
be fair, if you literally just stay away from processed food, processed sugar, you're halfway, you're like 65% of the way to having a great diet, right? Because anything that's growing, right, or that's unprocessed is almost by
Absolutely.
definition not bad for you. I won't even say good for you, but it's not bad for you, right? Like if you just take a piece of corn, shuck it, steam it, and lightly salt it, what's wrong with that? Like there's nothing. Of course, you don't want to eat 12 ears of corn, but having two is not bad for you, right? And broccoli and oats and whatever and grains are not necessarily bad for you. But once you start processing them and put sugar in them and then putting preservatives in them and hoping that they can last for a month and a half, that's when you start running into big problems, no?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So the corn is boiled at home, the steamed at home, the boiled corn at home, boiled corn at home, the steamed corn at home. One of the I give to my kids right now also. I mean, it was being given to my kid yesterday. So it's actually, when it comes to processing, when it comes to the processed food, where when you have to add preservatives to increase the shelf life,
Yeah.
that's where the danger is all about.
Yeah. So what does Utopia do?
Ethiopia is all about, we are here to revolutionize food industry with a philosophy of no evil at all.
Go ahead.
Evil in the food industry is being, we are here to eliminate the evil in the food industry.
How does that work?
It's the biggest mission we are into.
Yep.
It's the biggest mission we are in. All right. So the evil part is always a killing for any human being. But then we, as Ethiopia, we provide natural, wholesome indulgence for our consumers. We don't compromise with any of the ingredients that we're using. The ingredients that we are using are superfoods. When I am talking about superfood,
Oh,
superfood is one of the terminology which is abused by the industry. But then we wanted to really, we are using superfood. So any of our any of our packaged food products is being made with nuts, seeds, honey, fruits, and millets. Let's take an example of right away. I mean, in the screen, it's just showing nut pops.
yep.
Nut pops is an energy snack made with nuts, seeds, honey, nothing else.
But it's still packaged, right? So one of the because this is super interesting to me. But one of the things you were talking about before is once you have to package it, then you have to add all these other ingredients to it. So how do you do this in a way that's healthy, but still only using ingredients that are not bad for me, right? With no evil, just using honey and nuts and what was that, and millets and stuff like that. But you still put it in a package. How does it last?
Why do you want to add, processed ingredients in a product? Is just to reduce the cost. There are ways of using right ingredients to make a good quality product without adding preservatives, colors, flavors, and everything.
Oh,
If you see, let's take an example of Nut Pops, the energy snack. It's a packaged food product, but then I'm not adding refined sugar in it. Refined sugar is being replaced with honey. Honey is being used as a sweetener over here. Honey actually is a natural preservatives. We don't have to add. So if you see the Ayurvedic text, honey is being used as one of the basic products in all the Ayurvedic products. right? So if you see the honey jam, the back of the thing,
Yep.
honey jam is actually one of kind of USP product being launched by Ethiopia. So initially, when we launched honey jam, we thought we are the first in India to launch. But then when we traveled to GCC and Asian countries and European countries, we understood that we are the world's number one guys to launch honey jam. So jam is one of the most adulterated products in the industry, because in the category, because it has 70, approximately 65 to 70 percentage of sugar has been used in jam. But then what we have done, we have replaced that sugar with real fruits and pure honey.
And that's not bad for me. Like if you make strawberry jam, I'm looking at it. You have mixed berry honey jam. So you just take natural berries. Don't add any processed sugar. No refined sugar. You just mix honey and nuts in there, and that's it.
Absolutely right. It's just a combination of 70 percentage of fruits and rest is honey. We don't have any refined sugar in this.
Does that solve the problem and keep it healthy? Or is it just a different kind of
Yes,
sugar?
honey is a natural sugar.
I know.
Refined sugar is a processed sugar,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So there are different kinds. So when you use refined sugar, the spike, the peak, it's sugar fast. But then when you use honey, it take time.
Oh,
So that's the difference between when you use the honey and when you use any refined sugar, or any other sugar replaces.
okay. And is this, are you just making snack kind of food or are you just trying to disintermediate the entire part of the food chain?
Everything. We are not just focusing on snacks, we are also focusing on different food products, different food categories. So we started with honey,
Yep.
then we launched honey jam. So we are into spreads category, we are also into snacks category. So we launched nut pops, the energy snack. We have launched fruit minis, again an energy snack which made with good amount of fruits. Then we have launched products called jawar superfood puffs, made with jawar as a millet. We also launched oat puffs, again, a superfood oat puffs, which is not fried, which is not baked, it's slow roasted.
Okay. How do you get this thing to scale, right? And does it matter whether these foods are locally produced and locally sourced, or you kind of don't care? Do you know what I mean? Like if you're making it all natural, shouldn't you make it from the stuff that's around you? Or is the supply chain so efficient today that even inside of India, you can get stuff from all over the country and still make it in a way that's healthy?
Absolutely right. So basically, let's take an example of honey jam.
Yep.
I'm staying in a place called Maharashtra in Mumbai, and mulberries and strawberries being grown in a place called Mahabaleshwar, which is near to Mumbai. So it's just 5 hours, from Mumbai. So we are working with farmers. We are working with farmers, and we are directly sourcing mulberries and strawberries from farmers, and we store it. Honey is being sourced directly from our own beekeepers, and then that's how we source it. So we have a strong supply chain. We have strong people. I mean, we have farmers. We are directly sourcing from farmers, and we are also in the mission of empowering farmers and giving the right price to them. So the raw materials has been sourced, locally. Other than oats, everything is being sourced locally.
And you have your own beekeepers.
Yes,
So you're making your own honey too?
absolutely right.
So what have you learned about making honey? Like how long does it take to make honey? And don't the bees have to like fly around and find flower? Like how does that work?
So it's a long story, I think.
Go for it. Summarize. Just summarize for me.
So basically, we are partnering with Khadi Village Industries Corporation,
Mhm.
KVIC, under Government of India. Under Government of India, there's a corporation called KVIC, and
Okay.
under them, there are 10,000s of bee clusters, the cluster groups there. So we are directly working with the beekeepers, and then we are empowering them, helping them to, do the honey farming.
Yep.
So basically, to answer you, it takes around 20 to 25 days for getting a good honey at the right season. So that's how we source it, and we give the boxes and everything to the farmers, and we have the farm to fork process has been streamlined. And once the honey is been collected, one level of filtration happen at farm, and then we will take the honey to our processing unit. We sterilize it, and then we pack it, and we will distribute it. That's what we do.
And is there like an ESG angle to this as well? Because you've spent some time talking about you're paying a fair price to the farmers. Is there, do you know what I mean? Like, is there a sustainability angle to this that you haven't mentioned yet?
Absolutely right. So there is a prize. Since we are working with Kadi Village Industries Corporation, there is a prize given by the government. There's a set price given by the government for the particular kind of honeys,
Okay.
particular kind of honey. So we are justifying to it. And sometimes, when the yield is less, we always give 10-15% extra to that. So that's how we do.
Got it. So how long has Eatopia been around?
It's been precisely 1.11 years. We are touching 2 year in January.
And how big is it now?
We are an Indian-based company, Indian-based startup. We are actually based in Mumbai, and our products are available in pan India through our website. We are there in online and offline. Offline market, we are there in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Pune. And we are also expanding to the different parts of the India right now in offline market. Online market, our products are available. We are a D2C company, and our products are available on our website. Also, our products are available in Amazon, Flipkart, the major e-commerce marketplaces in India. And this is an Indian scenario. Our products are also available in GCC market. The products are also available in Dubai, and our products are also available in Malaysia.
And how many people work at Eatopia now? Like how many scientists you have there designing food or doing food engineering?
So altogether, we have around 50 people working with us. We're a small company. We have 50 people working with us right now,
Got it.
including food technologies, including our marketing, sales, and operation teams.
I got it. And have you been funded or have you bootstrapped the whole thing?
No, we have been funded. So the parent company is based in Malaysia. The name of the company is Macworld. Macworld is based in Malaysia, and Macworld is a conglomerate. Basically, they are into trading of oils. They are into trading of agri-commodities. They are basically into B2B. They had a vision to pitch into FMCG segment, the B2C, directly, interacting with the consumers. That's how, we, as a part of Macworld's vision, we have launched McGill, and then Eatopia is a brand of McGill.
Got it. Okay, so what can we expect next from Eatopia?
As I said, we are here to understand the market needs. We are here to help our consumers, and we are here to uh, expand or understand or revolutionize the market with no evil at all products. So when I'm talking about no evil at all, it is not just in food industry. We are
Right.
also into society. We are also pitching out to society. We recently we was part of called Walk for Freedom, a walk which involved in against the slavery. So
Okay.
we are a part of social movements. We are also part of a platform called or an NGO called Vision Rescue, which they are into helping the people who are living in slum with education and food. We are the nutritional partner for Vision Rescue. So
Got it.
Ethiopia. As a company, as a brand with half a purpose, is a brand with a purpose. It's not just contained only in food industry. We are also pitching into the world with the banner of no evil at all.
So one last thing and then I'll let you go. Are your parents proud of you now for being in the food business?
Absolutely, they're very happy with the way and I'm really happy to see my parents, the smile on my parents' face. Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay, Jacob George, a co-founder and CEO at Eatopia. That was awesome. Thank you so much for doing this today, man.
Thank you. It was absolute pleasure talking with you, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.